doesn't actually have the song on it though. The one on the Spotify is an extended album, so I would bet it is.
Hey guys, Morten Osad here, welcome to my channel. Today I did something I probably shouldn't have done. This is my last day, full day in Oslo. Tomorrow I'm going away on something I've explained in previous videos. Yes, for a place focused on health and other things, which I've been offered and I've agreed to, and I've spent the last 4 or 5 months dreading. But what did I do today? Then I shouldn't have. Well, I did pack. Everything is more or less right next to me here on my desk. So I've been a good boy and done that. I don't think I've forgotten anything. I had to bring some things to this place, in addition to what you would normally bring to a place where you're going to be staying for a month. Now, don't worry, I've recorded several videos, so I padded the YouTube there, so there won't be any trace of me being gone. But after getting outside and immediately wanted to go inside again because it was bitingly cold here in Oslo on May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. I did get on a tram despite wearing shorts, freezing on the tram stop, and I went to my favorite coffee place and I had a coffee, and then I did just traveled around a little bit in the city. Quite a lot of people out and about on a Sunday. And then I walked down to the monthly record fair at Vaterland. I didn't go last month. No, I didn't. So last month was the first month outdoors. And today, I think more than half the vendors were still inside the upstairs in the bar because it was cold and windy. So as usual, I do go sort of looking for one or two things, hoping to find them. For some reason, I think that I'm going to find the last studio album on vinyl at a record fair. I never do. But I told myself I was going to buy maybe one little thing to, kind of justify going down there and filming and then putting up on YouTube video where I don't actually have anything to show. But I did end up buying more than I had bargained for, and I guess my excuse or reasoning is that there won't be any really much a chance for me to be buying any records in the next month. I won't miss that. But I might be going home 1 or 2 times while I'm there, because basically weekends they don't have any program, and I do have a mailbox and a couple of things here in Oslo that probably needs tending to. I also got a couple of orders that might show up while I'm gone, and I've been getting some mixed signals from friends whether or not they can help me pick things up for me. So, what did I get? First of all, it was a nice arrangement. The record fair as usual. People seem to start recognizing me a little bit from having been to these record fairs before and saying hi and stuff. There's someone in the YouTube who says he follows me on YouTube and has seen me at these record fairs, but I've never had him come up and tell me this in person, so I still have that moment to wait for. So what did I pick up? Well, a couple of quite inexpensive things and a couple of fairly expensive things, and one fairly expensive and something I regretted when I got home. Well, there you are. But anyway, this will probably not be very well known to you guys out there. This is Fra Lippo Lippi, we say in Norwegian. It's a Norwegian band. They had some minor hits in the 80s. They formed originally at Nesodden, which is the peninsula just across the fjord from Oslo, in 1978 as Genetic Control. And then they changed their name to Fra Lippo Lippi, which is, the name is derived from Robert Browning's poem about the Renaissance painter Filippo Lippi. Now, Fra, F-R-A, I never really got whether or not they mean that in a Norwegian sense, because in Norwegian, Fra means from. So is this from Lippo Lippi? I don't know. But they had a couple of smaller hits, like Shouldn't Have to Be Like That, Every Time I See You, and Light and Shade. This was their 4th album, I think. Light and Shade, which came out in 1987 on Virgin. They got dropped by the record label. Never had much in the way of hits. I often say that this band should have had as much success and so as Aha, in my opinion. Sort of also rants, but just as great as far as pop sensibilities go. Funny thing is that, for example, Shouldn't Have to Be Like That sold over 60,000 copies, that single, in France. And they did have, for some odd reason, quite a big following and success in Japan. And they were really quite big and did a lot of touring in the Philippines. So there you have it. Much like a Norwegian band that came along about 15 years later, a duo, 2 girls called M2M, who have Marit Larsen and the other one, who have recently reformed after not having talked to each other for 23 years. So they are on the news here in Norway now because they have been touring Malaysia and Singapore, and lots of people over there who were loved them as teenagers and were teenagers themselves going to concerts. So it was really, really sweet to see. Anyway, guys, the other album I picked up, and I bought this along with another, so he knocked off half the price of this. I don't have a lot of music by this band. I have I have one CD with a deluxe edition, I think, of this, and I thought, well, nice to get it on vinyl. It's a beautiful copy. I just remember listening to this pop music, and back in the day. This is Soft Cell, of course, with Mark Almond and David Ball. Non-stop erotic cabaret, very nice copy. It says on Discog it's a Scandinavian copy, which I assume is true. Although it does say Team Trick on the back, which was in Oslo. So I think this is a Norwegian copy of this album, which is kind of a relatively legendary pop album, I suppose. Some of you who did my competition last year might remember that one of the criteria for the competition was to find an artist with Norwegian ancestry who was not from Norway, and I think it was one of the mics who revealed that or was it David? Revealed that Mark Almond actually is of partly of Norwegian descent. Next up, this is the one that I regretted. I always wanted this, and I always wanted something on vinyl by this Norwegian band. And I always wanted this one the most because of the cover. It's only when I got home, and it was really dark there, so I couldn't really, I didn't read the title of this all that well. It's only when I get home that I realized that I paid 300 Norwegian kroner for an EP. Now I've opened this. This was a sealed, so he had sealed copies. But I could have bought slightly more a proper album. So I feel a little miffed at this, to be honest. This is Motorpsycho, a Norwegian band from Trondheim, one of the biggest bands in Norway. Through their existence, a very prolific band. They changed tack in music from, what was the word? Psychedelia type music, hard rock, jazz, heavy metal, pop. And I always loved this cover so much, but I never took the time to really dive into them. I have one CD, and it's not even here; it's in Denmark. Motorpsycho. It's this band is named for a Russ Meyer film called Motorpsycho, and I always liked that. And one of the reasons I felt I should get into this because. We used to watch a lot of movies like that when we went to film college because we had a film projectionist teacher and alternative film history teacher called Jack from America, and he loved these things like Faster, Pussycat, Kill Kill, and Kitten with a Whip, and movies like that. So he would show these on 16mm and stuff, and VHS tapes and God knows what. So yeah. But one thing that did make this a little bit of a consolation is that this is a very pretty piece of vinyl, I must say. There you go. Now that's marble for you. Marbled. That's pretty cool. So hopefully this won't sour me, and I'll be able to get some more Motorpsycho later on, but a proper album. And yeah, I guess I'm a little bit easy to upset right now because I'm not looking forward to going tomorrow. I have to take a bus from outside of here at 5:45 tomorrow morning to get to the bus terminal and hang out there for a while, and then take a bus for a couple of hours to a place I've never been. And it's going to be a regime of tell me what to eat and physical exertion and so on, and I have pains in my teeth, and my leg and my ankle will start hurting the moment I do stuff. Sorry, I don't mean to put this on you guys, but yeah, it's that, and Denmark and all that stuff. So yeah, buying that record and then discovering it was an EP kind of upset me a little bit. But I got a couple of more records, of course I did, and I'm pretty excited about this because I've always wanted some vinyl by this band, and it was kind of expensive. But when I saw what they wanted on Discogs for this, I felt a little bit better. So this is Margarine Eclipse by Stereolab. And I love Stereolab. I have 5-6 CDs, I think. Never owned anything by them on vinyl. Really want to. But, you know, been putting it off. And today in some sort of... Oh, I have to somehow do something nice to myself because I'm going away. This was really cool. Now, so it's still got the shrink wrap on here. It's not a gatefold, I now see, but this is a 2000. I think this is a 2004 release, and the vinyl is also. I don't think it's been re-released. It might have gotten a little bit of a, you know, what do you call this? Sunstrike. But otherwise, we got an insert here with the lyrics. Of course, this is not my favorite Stereolab, but oddly enough, I think I may have played this CD more than the others. So why did you get it on vinyl when you already have it on CD? Really? You're watching a vinyl community video and you're asking yourself that question? Don't you know us at all? Oh well. I'll just show you one of the records, which looks absolutely great. I bought from this guy before, and he knows. But I'll be replacing this because I have some nicer looking, or nicer to the vinyl. Is there anything else in here? Nope. Anyway, I finally got some Stereolab on vinyl. That's kind of cool. Then I went downstairs and outside, and I tried to look a little bit through the bins there and film something for you, but it was really crowded on the outside. And then there was a small hole in the where I wanted to look, and that was the indie section. I was kind of hoping to find something by the Church, because they had the first Church album there. Of course, the European US album cover, not the Australian one, which is the one I would have liked to. I listened to that album yesterday, by the way. Put that up on Instagram if you want to check that out. But I did find this. And this is again my first vinyl by a band that I absolutely adore. I have all their studio albums and some B-sides and live CD, I think. And back in the day, this is a band where I bought a deluxe CD edition of this completely at a whim at Plot Company here in Oslo. I'd never heard them before. And it's Elbow. Lovely, lovely Elbow. Sort of a band that came along for me at around the same time as I discovered Doves. So those two have kind of been traveling in tandem for me. You know, one Dove album, one Elbow album, back and forth. But this is the first time I bought anything from them, like I said, on vinyl. And is this supposed to be there, or? Oh well. So look at that. Nice gold there. I know a couple of UK vinyl community members will applaud me for having finally gotten some Elbow on vinyl. I know they have a bit of a following here in Norway, because back when they were smaller they would show up here. but you know, I don't feel that that there's much in the way of anyone talking about them outside of Europe or the UK even. So I'm making this video, making it last as long as possible to put off what I have to do tomorrow. And the vinyl looks really nice. A little bit dirty there. Yeah. Oh. We'll contend with that. And then I noticed that there's something stuck in here. And you might have seen this from Q Magazine, 2011. When did Q Magazine fold? So I noticed that the previous owner of this record had, in fact, ripped out the pages of Q Magazine, but I now noticed that he's also ripped out pages from Mojo about this record. So that's nice. There you go. And look at this. I could have used a knife or some scissors because this hasn't been ripped out all that well, but look at that. Apparently Elbow is featured in Tintin's Journey to the Moon. But wait, there were more. There is more. There we go. Great British Songwriters. Local hero. He's got the best voice, doesn't he? Yeah, so that was kind of cool. So I'll look into that later on. Anyway, guys, wish me luck. I hope you enjoyed seeing a little bit from the record fair and me showing you these records. Check out some Norwegian music. Motorpsycho are really cool. I'm sorry if I was negative. I was just, for the price that I paid, finding out it was an EP was kind of a downer. My own fault, but there you go. You know, it's hectic, people around, you know, try and put up, and I knew that I don't own any Motorpsychos. I didn't have to look it up on Discogs, and if I had, then I would have seen the word EP most likely. But there you go. Anyway, I guess it's coming around 4:30 in the afternoon. I should probably go to bed soon. Take care, guys. Please leave comments. I love hearing from you. I'll be hoping to hear from you for the next month. Yeah. Anyway, click like, that helps my channel, and please take care, and hope to see you soon in another video. And there are more videos coming. They're being recorded before this one. Bye bye.